critical thinking sana. Noah's flood story has dawned on me. I personally, I don't believe in the Noah story. I don't believe in it, but for the purpose of learning and for others who hasn't yet woken up to themselves, gain their consciousness, can also learn. So let's dive deep into things. Noah's story. According to Bible references, time our story no it happened no. Now Noah was 600 years. It's maybe someone who says 600 years way back then, where they didn't have tools and equipment. Tools and equipment then occur in Remu or you see to cut all those woods that he needed to build the ark. I think so. It didn't Yankopon it decided say or so to flood the whole world. I say we are sitting in nipa 8 pe. Nipa 8 I Noah and then a yere and then a ma and then a my yere Ham Shem and a Japheth and a omo yere no. It didn't Yankopon decided say obey say we are sitting. Now how long did Noah had to preach the so-called gospel, to preach the so-called Adjene Sakra and Semuno? Say any pabes. How long did Noah had? Yaman say one for and preach it and say also, was there ever a flood that covered every inch of the earth, with the flood waters rising up to the highest mountain Everest? Now in Sunina, if we hear by in Suno, if you free from Anna, and a po, I that way a Boboko Bay and a to cover the highest mountain. And a rivers make a boom, and then so I was thrown a top by to cover that level of the highest mountain Ararat. No, I think so. Moses, Noah, how did he gather every species of animal and even animals across the continent, across the oceans? If I say no, to me ko someone in no, and tontom ne once na ne kakapemu na wotimi chiro mu ni na. E dey obehye ark name. How did these animals survive in the ark for 1 year? I think it's over 1 year. How did he feed aboa biane ne aduane, tontom ne aduane, once ne aduane, okama ne aduane, aponchi ne aduane, elephant ne aduane, cow ne aduane? Oh my God. Must be so tiring for a 600 years old man. I feel crying also no. Flood nina was as a result of Bonnie and air cost on Yankopon a save as a save. No one in ma. Say Bonington or Dean Suiri ever say we are say. How do we still have sin? How and why is actually a necra Bonnie cry will be as a saying can you know? And can any man any Pharisee obey your crown and they will be unfair so obey. So even after Jesus' story still Bonnie say or the and so be say we are say for because of Bonnie and a Bonnie said baby, and after that osadi Jesus and so by so no soon be because of Bonnie and I still Bonnie say hono. Hey, and I'm saying Uncle Point in the machine in our failure. A critical thinking is bad. If you start asking questions, you go mad. Now you're programming Sambia Shisha with him to the point so you can't even think for yourself. You can't even reason for yourself and use facts and proofs and evidences. Plus, aside backing this story up with further biblical quotes and quotations, send your Bible now. Do we have anything outside the Bible to prove this Noah story actually happened? I think said obi baso a Bible na and obesa dia answer no asa quote John sempana any Matthew sempana Timothy sempana, but aside the Bible there is no other information to back this story up to prove that it really happened. Pyramids in that to see how it has withstand rain, storm, earthquakes. Why don't we have evidences and proofs to back these biblical stories? As a time be now to say as a fiction be. I decided a storytelling storybook be anyway. Now my last question also yeah. Say even though the 600-year-old Noah managed to gather all the animals into the ark, no almost share honum fafe and in a busia. It's after saying so no toy and so no so where and so a year could do Mount Ararat. Where did the water go? After and so Neti and so year after the flood, where did the excess water go? At a chico go. And I said, I don't get it. Plus, how much water do we have on the planet? Can we make researches and do these calculations? How much water do we have on this planet? Say a bit me to cover the highest mountain. Also, and one after a year, no, how did Noah get each and every animal from the top of the mountain back to the ground level? A quite being a 600 years old man. It's Miss Asa or a more na. As I back to ground floor for them to repopulate the earth. Oh, when you sure say these writers of these biblical books, these religious books, when you sure say they are messing with our minds, they are playing mind games with us. Are you because something will be it doesn't make sense.